This is episode 2 of 10 in our explainer series of the art of war. Previously, we explored the foundational 5 constant factors. Now, I teach you the art of deception, the core principle upon which all warfare rests. Let us begin.
For centuries, leaders have sought my guidance on the nature of conflict. Today, I want to share with you the single most important part of any strategy, the one thing that all victories depend on. We're going to talk about the art of deception, so pay close attention. All warfare is based on deception. Now, you really need to let that sink in, because it's the foundation for everything else. You see, most people, the fools, they think winning is about having a bigger army or sharper swords. They couldn't be more wrong. The real victory, that's won inside your opponent's head, long before any fighting actually starts. It's all about controlling what they see, what they believe to be true, and ultimately, controlling what they do. So, how do we begin? Well, it all starts with a simple principle, one that's easy to say but takes a lifetime to truly master. You have to become a master of illusion. The key is to project an image that is the absolute opposite of your real situation. Okay, imagine this. You're ready to strike. Your forces are organized. You're at the peak of your strength. So, what should you do? You must appear completely incapable, utterly weak. You show them hesitation. That's when your enemy will get comfortable. They'll let down their guard. And that's the exact moment you've been waiting for. You've created your own opportunity. Or let's say your troops are on the move, maybe advancing on a critical position. To the enemy, it needs to look like nothing is happening at all. You have to create the illusion of total stillness. Your movements have to be so subtle, so quiet, that their scouts report back that you're just sitting in your camp doing nothing. You keep your true purpose hidden until the very last second. Here's another way to play with their perception. When you are right on their doorstep, poised to attack, you must convince them that you are still days away. See, by manipulating their sense of distance, you cause them to miscalculate. They relax, they think they have time, and that single, tiny error in judgment, that will be their undoing. And you know what? This works perfectly in reverse too. It's just as powerful. When you're actually far away, make them think you're about to descend upon them. This creates a kind of phantom pressure. It'll force them to divide their army, to guard against threats that don't even exist. You can exhaust their soldiers and their commander's mind without ever putting one of your own people in harm's way. All right, let's take this to the next level. It's one thing to pretend you're unable when you're able, but a true master of strategy, they learn how to turn the very appearance of weakness into a weapon. They make it their greatest strength. You have to embrace these paradoxes. Let your enemies see what looks like total chaos, and they will never suspect the perfect discipline hiding beneath it. You show them what appears to be fear, and they will completely overlook your deep courage. You present a mask of weakness, and it will make them absolutely blind to the overwhelming strength you're holding in reserve. And you have to understand this. These masks, they're not just for hiding. They're not passive disguises. No, they are active lures. They are bait. You pretend to be in disarray for one reason: to draw the enemy into a trap. You offer them something small and tempting, maybe a supply wagon that looks poorly guarded, to entice them into moving exactly where you want them, right into the jaws of your real plan. So, what are we really aiming for here? The ultimate target of all this deception isn't the enemy's army. It's the mind of the enemy's commander. Your entire goal is to shape their emotions, to cloud their judgment, and to personally lead them down a path that ends in their own ruin. Let me tell you a fundamental truth. An arrogant general is an already defeated general. By consistently pretending to be weak, you feed his ego. You let him believe in his own superiority. You should nurture that arrogance in your opponent, because arrogance is the mother of every bad decision. And there's a very deliberate sequence to this. First, you offer the mask of weakness. This allows his arrogance to grow. Then, his arrogance will lead him to neglect his own defenses. And in that exact moment of carelessness, you strike where he is unprepared, and you appear where he least expects you. You see? Victory isn't about luck. It's the inevitable, logical result of your psychological attack. And this idea extends beyond just arrogance. Let's say your opponent has a short fuse, a choleric temper. Well, then your job is to irritate him, provoke him. Why? Because a man consumed by rage doesn't think, he acts rashly. And you can turn his own temperament into a weapon against him. So all of this, it leads us to the ultimate goal of strategy. And it's not simply about winning. Any brute can win a battle. The true master seeks to win with so much skill, so much foresight, that the battle itself is just a formality. This is the highest form of victory, to break your enemy's will to even resist, to make them understand the complete futility of their situation before the fighting even starts. Supreme excellence is to win without ever having to fight, and you achieve this through superior positioning, psychological dominance, and a flawless strategy. You see, victory isn't about taking risks. It's about eliminating them. The skillful fighter first makes their own position completely unassailable. They make sure they make no mistakes. And only then do they patiently wait for the enemy to make an error which you, the strategist, have so carefully engineered all along. You must adopt this mindset. A battle is not a gamble. It is the final act of a play where the ending has already been written by you. Victory is secured long before the first clash, back in the planning, in the deception. The fight itself merely confirms what you have already made true. I will leave you with this to ponder. These lessons are timeless. They don't just apply to the battlefield, they apply to any area of competition, of conflict. So ask yourself this: in a world that is always screaming for displays of power, how will you find the wisdom and the discipline to practice the art of weakness? How will you mask your strength and achieve victories that others can't even comprehend? The choice and the incredible advantage it brings is yours.
May deception guide you. In Episode 3, discover why protracted campaigns lead to ruin and the true cost of war.
This has been another dispatch from the Dead Expert Society. The dead have spoken, but what say the living? Let us know below.